going to have to step out of your comfort zone and release the idea of perfection because it's too rigid, and to use your will to help you keep going over any obstacle that you face so that you don't feel defeated. Taurus, welcome to your weekly tarot reading for March 21st to the 27th. Let's get started and see what are the major themes for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising as they move through their week. Taurus. Ooh, that is the full moon in Taurus that just came out. Okay. And bottom of the deck. Okay, let's have a look together here. We see communication is the key on the bottom of the deck here for Taurus. Communication is the key. We also see your dreams need a practical plan. That's your full moon in Taurus there. And step out of your comfort zone. Balance spirituality and practicality. So you do need a practical plan, but you are also being guided to make sure you don't lose that other perspective, right? It's not all about the 3D practical planning. There is an element of divine timing here at work, guiding you to step out of your comfort zone, and that communication is going to be the key here. I feel like Taurus, again, there was a, not last week, the week before that, for Taurus, it felt like they needed to have a conversation with someone. I wonder if that conversation happened, how it went. Maybe as a result of that conversation, some planning is going to be taking place this week. That's going to involve you sort of stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe, and needing to take a higher perspective to see, aside from the practical planning, maybe what adjustments need to be made. Interesting. We see precision. Precision, the desire to do something precisely is useful as long as it does not involve rigidity. Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like being practical can sometimes lead to that rigidity, that perfectionist rigid quality. So, being overly precise, yes, and maybe being slightly rigid and ignoring that divine timing. As I say that, we see willpower. Use your willpower to bravely overcome thoughts of compromise and defeat. So that's interesting. There's your spiritual aspect. That idea of will reminds me of the wands in tarot, that you're really being guided out of your comfort zone to do something that, you might call a dream, like something that you've really been thinking about, dreaming about, hoping for, something that really resonates with you. And that willpower will help you overcome thoughts of compromise and defeat. Perhaps the communication is how you speak to yourself, Taurus. Perhaps it's how you speak to yourself about things. Interesting. I feel like that resonates because of this precision as well. Perhaps there is a part of you that is just too rigid with how you sort of expect things, or how you do things. It's too based on this idea of perfectionism, which leads you to feel like if things don't go exactly according to how you had them planned, that somehow you're defeated and that you're needing to compromise. You're really being guided out of this comfort zone so that you can sort of explore the idea of going with the flow a little bit here with planning. But yeah, see, we see the Fool with, as I'm saying, going with the flow with planning, but at the same time taking a leap of faith, taking a risk. It's interesting. Stepping out of your comfort zone, I think, is the key block for you this week, Taurus. There's something coming through here that could be a dream for you, like something really that really resonates with you. But in order to get on that path, you're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone and release the idea of perfection because it's too rigid, and to use your will to help you keep going over any obstacle that you face so that you don't feel defeated or that you don't feel like you must compromise, I feel like this has a lot to do with your inner dialogue and how you're, you know, narrating this story. Yeah, Ace of Wands in reverse is sort of like a big thumbs down from you to the universe. You know, it's like, it's not being satisfied. It's being dissatisfied with maybe timing, with inspiration, with circumstance, with, you know, dare I say, with spirit. You know, it's almost a time where you're sort of saying, I don't feel like this is going to be okay. I can't take this leap of faith. Like, it's interesting to be staring at the Ace of Rods and the Fool, both in reverse, in a reading that's sort of pulling between being flexible and taking a step out of the comfort zone in order to achieve a dream, but also taking the practical steps in order to have the will to actually move forward with it. It's very interesting, Taurus. For willpower, it's interesting. I felt guided to just take the card that was on the top of the deck, and it's the Three of Swords in reverse. This is telling me that maybe in the past there have been circumstances where when you tried to balance out your will and being brave to overcome thoughts of defeat, like that's kind of what the Three of Swords makes me think of when it's in reverse, is that out of a time that felt like it required courage, you were able to overcome how you know, were internalizing things by using your will. And I feel like it's interesting. Knight of Swords. Yeah, like look at that. Everything's in reverse here. And I feel like it's because you're actually moving towards a transformation here. This is very transformative energy where you sort of, it starts with how you are talking to yourself about something that you've been dreaming about doing, but also sort of anticipating all of the ways it could go wrong. And it's almost like you're saying, well, that's how I prepare for things. But then a part of you is also saying, okay, if you're gonna think about how it could go wrong, you have to also think about how it could go right. Like, you need to balance that out a little bit, because otherwise you're going to be reluctant to take that step out of your comfort zone if it feels like it's all risk. So I feel like the balancing of spirit with practical applications here, it really does involve your will, Taurus. And that's something that comes from within. That's something that drives you when you feel passionate about something, when it feels like it really resonates with you. And I can't help but feel like you're overcoming something maybe that happened in the past, where when you tried to do this in the past, maybe there was some obstacle that really hurt. Like, you know, the thing that comes to mind immediately is someone criticized you. Someone, you know, I imagine someone presenting their work to a group of people, and then the group of people being very critical because of this precision card. And then that makes me feel like that locked you up inside, and you were like, well, I am not going to be vulnerable again, because those guys, they ate me alive. And I feel like that came from an internalization of other people being critical and projecting their own rigidity onto you. And now you have this opportunity to try it again, knowing what you know now, that actually the thoughts and beliefs of the external world don't need to become internal. They don't need to pierce your heart. You know, Taurus? Wow, I'm going to leave it at that. What a very beautiful and interesting reading. If this has resonated for you, leave me a comment below. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video if you'd like to see more. I hope to see you all again very soon for another reading. And I'm sending you so much love and light. Have a wonderful week.